5 men went to watch a basketball game. They bought tickets. They cheered. They ate snacks in the stands like anyone would. And then they drove home. Except, they never made it. February 24th, 1978. Chico, California. 5 young men pile into a car, a 1969 Mercury Montego, heading to a college basketball game. Their names were Jack Madruga, Sterling Judkins, Bill Sterling, Ted Wire, and Gary Matthias. All 5 were friends. All 5 were part of a local social program for adults with mild intellectual disabilities. They loved basketball. This was supposed to be a normal night out. They watched the game. Witnesses saw them leave the arena around 10 p.m. And that is the last confirmed sighting of all 5 men alive. When they didn't come home that night, families started calling around. No answer. No sign of them. Days passed. And then, about a week later, a highway patrol officer found the Mercury Montego parked on a remote forest road. Drive Road. A dead-end logging road cutting into the mountains of Plumas National Forest. Miles from anything. Miles from anyone. The car was sitting in snow. But here's the thing. One says, the car wasn't stuck. The engine worked. There was still gas in the tank. Nothing was broken. Nothing was damaged. They had simply stopped and walked away into the dark, into the cold, into one of the most unforgiving mountain ranges in Northern California, in the middle of the night. Why? Now let me paint this picture for you properly, because the geography here is important. To get from Chico to the Yuba County area where they lived, you take Highway 99 south, a straight road, simple. They'd driven it before. Instead, the car ended up on a mountain road going north, in the completely wrong direction. That's not a wrong turn. That's not GPS confusion. This is 1978. There is no GPS. That's a decision. Someone, at some point, chose to drive up into those mountains. Who made that call? And why did the other 4 go along with it? Search began. Helicopters. Ground teams. Hundreds of volunteers combing the wilderness. Nothing. For weeks. Then months. And then, in June, 4 months after they disappeared, a forest ranger discovered something. A maintenance trailer deep in the forest, isolated, off the grid. Inside, he found the body of Ted Wire. Ted had been there for some time, weeks, maybe longer. And this is where the case stops making sense, because inside that trailer, there was food, canned goods, enough to survive on, matches, candles, basic supplies, the kind of Forest Service crew might stock for emergencies. Ted had access to all of it. And yet, he weighed 80 pounds when they found him. He had starved, in a trailer with food in it. His feet had severe frostbite. Several toes were gone. He was wearing a military field jacket that didn't belong to any of the 5 men. No one knows where it came from. He had survived for weeks in that trailer, and he had not eaten. Why? The following weeks, more remains were found. Their bodies recovered within a few miles of the trailer. All of them had died from exposure. None of them had made it to the trailer, but Ted had. Ted was there first. Ted lasted the longest. And the trailer was only 19 miles from the car. 19 miles through mountain wilderness in winter. That's extraordinary on its own. These were 5 men who were not trained hikers. Now, the 5th man, Gary Matthias. Gary was different from the others in one key way. He had a history of schizophrenia, and he'd been doing well. Gary's body was never found. Some people believe Gary survived, that he walked out of those mountains somehow, somewhere. What if Gary is the reason they turned up that mountain road in the first place? What if something happened to Gary that night? We don't know. We will probably never know. It's been over 45 years. No charges, no suspects, no confession, no explanation. Just a car on a mountain road with gas in the tank. Just a trailer with food on the shelf, and a man who starved inside it. Just 4 graves and 1 empty one, and 5 men who went to a basketball game and never came home. The Yuba County 5. If you know something, the case is still open. Some families are still waiting.